It's a rare thing in the endless sludge of YouTube recommendations where you'll actually find a good video. But that happened to me a couple weeks ago when I stumbled across What is Ongezellig, a video talking about an obscure internet cartoon I'd never heard of. And from the first 15 seconds I was hooked, so I turned it off. I wanted to be spoiled on it so I could watch it myself later. Days, weeks, months, years went by until I was finally, after making 3 videos in a row, able to take the time out of my busy schedule to sit down and watch it. And after about an hour of watching, pausing, and being half asleep, finished it. And what do I think of it? It's good. Don't get me wrong, it's not amazing, but it was a fun little watch that kept me invested for its entire 6-episode runtime. But what is Ongezellig? Ongezellig is about an emo girl, Jimmy Butler, who from the very first minute is shown to be an antisocial, hentai-watching weirdo, lacking any form of social skills. Oh wait, I was reading my about page. But thankfully, the story isn't really that far off. Jimmy's hentai session is cut short when her adopted sister Coco walks in, asking Jimmy if she could help her with a presentation, due to it being due in a couple hours. Jimmy's like me for real. Jesus fucking Christ. Bro hasn't talked to a woman in years, so gets to dashing, but gets caught in some police tape, leaving bro stuck like my subcount. From here we meet Mai, Jimmy's second adopted sister, who interrogates her via some freaky roleplay. After some inappropriate jokes, we cut to school to see the trio present their presentations. Mai does hers first, but is disqualified due to some Kanye-like statements, one could say. Jimmy's up next, but she doesn't have a presentation to show, as she forgot, watching too much hentai. Hand up, gang. Coco gives hers, but leaves the whole entire class in shock when she reads out Jimmy's browser history, gay furry porn and all. We see the trio in the next scene being interrogated by the teacher on what the hell just happened. A lot of bullshit happens in this scene, but to cut a long story short, the teacher gives them the 90 assignments missing due in an hour-level punishment, and that they have to present their essays by 5 p.m. today. This nigga is finished. We cut to Jimmy with her friends and then in a bathroom, and honestly, this twist took me way too long to figure out, but I won't spoil it for you. Jimmy gets a text from Coco but ignores it, responding with "I'm with friends," leaving Coco perplexed. This nigga doesn't have any friends. We then cut to the trio in some kind of prison dungeon. Oh wait, it's just school. Jimmy procrastinating, looking like SpongeBob. Coco teleports in, talking about if Jimmy needs help. It's here we learn that Jimmy really be jealous of Coco, how she's prettier, gets all the hoes, swishes from 3. Jimmy out here building houses with all these bricks. Jimmy, realizing he only has 2 hours left, caves in and works with the two. Mai asks Jimmy where she sits during break. Jimmy starts spazzing like a nigga getting fired top. If you know, you know. Coco says Jimmy sits with her friends, right Jimmy? Mai, like a clingy girlfriend, can't just leave it alone, and asks friends with who? Jimmy, about to go into cardiac arrest via intense suckage, tries to dip, talking about how she can fail. What's another year? On that Omni-Man time. Coco spills the beans and says to Jimmy that she wants to help her because she knows bro pulls no bitches, and that she just doesn't want Jimmy to feel lonely. Jimmy not taking this revelation too well and says,
"Why your shoes raggedy?"
That's why your mama dead. Dead as hell. What shoes she got on? What shoes she had on her casket?
And almost gets dropped out a window, but like an up-court lacking gets to apologize. Jimmy leaves and we cut to her on the rooftop of the school building. Not really, she's in a stall, and this is where the twist kicked in for me, and it's about time. I'm out here with a 2nd grade level comprehension skills. After some deathbed level cope, Jimmy reunites with Coco and gets her presentation done, getting a pass. The episode closing up with the trio riding home, Coco asking if she'd be interested in playing Scrabble with her and Mai. Jimmy says no, and the scene ends with her listening through the wall, and that's really it. Honestly, this show was alright. Again, it's nothing to really write home about, but it was just a nice little internet cartoon. My only criticism being the animation. It's so stiff at some point, but it's serviceable, with some really good jokes spliced in between the more serious moments, and it's just so charming. You can tell the person who made this knew what they wanted to do with this show, taking little to no liberty to tell a tight, cohesive story, and it comes off as so earnest. Also, the voice actors all do a good job, whatever their names are. I think the reason I gave Ongezellig a shot is mostly due to nostalgia, as before I started making these videos, I actually wanted to be an animator. My first video on this channel being an animation, as I was inspired by a lot of cartoons I watched as a kid, like this one, Dick Figures, Deep Space 69, Rick and Morty when it was good. But yeah, watch Ongezellig. It's free on YouTube and only 6 episodes, most averaging 3 minutes, so just over 20 minutes in total. So you're not going to spend weeks chipping away at it. You should support it too, because even though the subject matter isn't really my cup of tea, I think the whole thing was animated by one guy. I'm not sure, I'm not Dutch, and it'd be cool if the guy got his own show on Adult Swim or something. I see a lot of potential with this. But yeah, that's really it. See ya. I was thinking, you should subscribe. I'm trying to make it to 100k before the end of the year, so I can flex on all my peers and brag to all the brownskins and snow bunnies. So go on down and subscribe. It's Christmas. Where's your Christmas spirit? Go on, do it. No? No, you won't? Well, I wasn't asking. This wasn't a conversation. It was an order. Do it. Knock knock. Thanks for watching the video. Just checking in to ask if you'd be willing to subscribe to my Patreon. Okay, calm. Jokes aside, just here to tell you that I have a Patreon. As most of you know, I don't make any money off this channel, essentially making me broke. But I don't have to, as for the small price of £12 a month. Yes, only 12.
Brother, this guy stinks!
stinks!
I know 12 is pretty steep, but hear me out. Behind the scenes footage, process videos, director's commentary, unreleased videos, access to all my scripts, and early access to all my videos 2 days before they get dropped. I can't speak.
Oh, bro.
And early access to all my videos 2 days before they drop on his channel. But yeah, I go over 4 hours worth of content on Patreon, and it'll only grow as you guys continue to support me. And also, don't feel like you need to donate. Just you guys subscribing, liking, and watching my videos is enough. Well, no, it's not, but I kind of have to say that. But yeah, it's optional. But it would really help if you pledged. But again, no pressure. Also, subscribe. I'm trying to make it to 10K before the end of the year. Okay, that's it. See ya.